gentlemen, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Could we please stand for a pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For the record, this is a public meeting of the Bayonne Board of Education. It is 7:30 p.m., the 26th day of November. We're convening in the Anna J. Herbert Meeting Room. The presiding officer is Joseph Broderick, President of the Bayonne Board of Education. Those in attendance include Mr. John Neese, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Kenneth Kopaz, Assistant Superintendent for Personnel, Dr. Gary Maida, Board Secretary, Mr. Daniel Castles, School Business Administrator, Mr. Thomas Fagu, Jr., Assistant School Business Administrator, Dr. Dennis Degnan, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, and Mr. Mitchell Pasquale, our Board Counsel. I'll take a roll call. Trustee Alonso.
Present.
Trustee Casillas.
Here.
Trustee Cruden.
Here.
Trustee Finnerty.
Here.
Trustee Munoz.
Here.
Trustee Ryan.
Here.
Trustee Villado.
Here.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Here.
President Broderick.
Present. For the record, adequate written advance notice of at least 48 hours, given the time, date, and location of this meeting, with the agenda was provided as follows. Notice was prominently posted in City Hall at 630 Avenue C on the bulletin board reserved for such announcements of the Board of Education. The Board Secretary sent such notice to the Jersey Journal and the Bayonne Community News. Finally, notice was filed with the Municipal Clerk of the City of Bayonne, Ms. Madeline Medina. Yes. I'd just like to two things before we start our regular meeting. One is I'd like to ask everyone if they could give us a moment of silence. We lost one of our family members here at Bayonne High School. Her name was Myra Golobrewski. She was a she was a Spanish teacher who left us and her family way too early. Thank you.
Tonight we'll start with our approval of minutes, acceptance of communications. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
On that motion and second, Trustee Alonso.
Aye.
Trustee Casillas.
Yes.
Trustee Cruden.
Yes.
Trustee Finnerty.
Yes.
Trustee Munoz.
Yes.
Trustee Ryan.
Yes.
Trustee Villado.
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Yes.
President Broderick.
Yes.
Next up is our curriculum and instruction resolutions. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Motion by Trustee Casillas.
Second.
Second by Trustee Villado. On that motion and second, Trustee Casillas.
Yes.
Trustee Cruden.
Yes.
Trustee Finnerty.
Yes.
Trustee Munoz.
Yes.
Trustee Ryan.
Yes.
Trustee Villado.
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Yes.
President Broderick.
Yes. Yes.
Next up, I'm sorry, Trustee Alonso. I apologize for that. Thank you.
The late yes.
Next up are our finance, building, and ground resolutions. Do I have a motion
I'll make that motion.
and a second?
I second.
On that motion and second, Trustee Cruden.
Yes.
Trustee Finnerty.
Abstain.
Trustee Munoz.
Yes.
Trustee Ryan.
Yes.
Trustee Villado.
Yes.
Trustee Alonso.
Yes.
Trustee Casillas.
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Yes.
President Broderick.
Yes.
And we have our personnel resolutions. Do I have a motion
I'll move.
and a second?
I'll second.
On that motion and second, Trustee Finnerty.
Abstain.
Trustee Munoz.
Yes.
Trustee Ryan.
Yes.
Trustee Villado.
Yes.
Trustee Alonso.
Yes.
Trustee Casillas.
Yes.
Trustee Cruden.
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Yes.
President Broderick.
Yes.
And then I have three resolutions on non-consent. I'll start with Resolution D1. Whereas the Board of Education finds it necessary to make staff adjustments and reassignments to meet the current operating needs of the school district, be it resolved that it is recommended by the Superintendent of Schools that the below-named personnel be reassigned to the position listed next to their name, Be it further resolved that this Board of Education approve the recommendations made by the superintendent to reassign the personnel listed below on the effective dates. Alana Ryan, 10-month assistant principal assigned to John Bailey Community School, to 12-month assistant principal assigned to John M. Bailey Community School. New salary is $136,508. Effective date is July 1, 2020. Do I have a motion
I'll move.
and a second?
I'll second.
So we have a motion by Vice President Wilbeck, a second by Trustee Cruden. On that motion and second, Trustee Munoz?
Yes.
Trustee Ryan?
Abstain.
Trustee Villado?
Yes.
Trustee Alonso?
Abstain.
Trustee Cassius?
Yes.
Trustee Cruden?
Yes.
Trustee Finerty?
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck?
Yes.
President Broderick?
Yes.
Resolution D2. Whereas there is currently pending a matter before the New Jersey Department of Education, Bayonne Board of Education, and BG and LF, docket 15583-18. Whereas the Bayonne Board of Education is the local educational authority with the responsibility of providing a free, appropriate public education to MG. Whereas a dispute existed and continues to exist with regard to MG's educational program and placement, therefore be it resolved that the parties having a desire to resolve the issues raised by the request for a due process hearing without the need for further litigation and without admitting any deficiencies in the program and placement previously offered by the board to MG in order to reach a compromise of the dispute, authorize and execute as followed, and there's an attached agreement. Do I have a motion
So moved.
and a second?
I'll second.
So on that motion and second, Trustee Ryan,
Yes.
Trustee Villado,
Yes.
Trustee Alonso,
I do believe this to be a fair agreement. I vote yes.
Trustee Cassius.
Yes.
Trustee Cruden,
Yes.
Trustee Finerty,
Yes.
Trustee Munoz.
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Yes.
President Broderick.
Yes.
And our final resolution, D3, whereas NJSA 18A 6-7.1 provides for the immediate termination of a recently hired employee where the Board of Education subsequently receives information regarding the applicant's history, which would disqualify said individuals from such employment. Whereas the superintendent has recommended that the Board of Education terminate the employment of the employee identified on attached Schedule A due to receipt of such information, whereas the board has considered the superintendent's recommendation, whereas the board agrees to the superintendent's recommendation to terminate the identified individual's employment, be it resolved that the Board of Education as follows. 1, the employment of the individual identified on Schedule A of this resolution is terminated effective immediately. 2, the affected individual will promptly be provided appropriate notification. And 3, the superintendent or his designee is authorized to provide the necessary notification to the affected individual. Do I have a motion
I motion.
and a second?
I'll second.
So a motion by Trustee Ryan, seconded by Trustee Cruden. Trustee Villado.
Yes.
Trustee Alonso.
Yes.
Trustee Cassius.
Yes.
Trustee Cruden.
Yes.
Trustee Finerty.
Yes.
Trustee Munoz.
Yes.
Trustee Ryan.
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Yes.
President Broderick.
Yes.
Mr. President, that's all I have, but we do have some cards from the audience. Sure.
First card.
We have a,
Commendation.
Oh,
Commendation.
I apologize, I apologize, I apologize. First up, whereas Lynn Keating, a registered nurse, has brought honor and distinction to Mary J. Donahue Community School and the entire community for her professional aid to a 5th grade student. Whereas the Board of Education wishes to recognize the outstanding achievement of Lynn Keating, be it hereby resolved that this Board of Education sincerely congratulates Lynn Keating. This is by the Committee of the Whole. Lynn, would you please come up and join us?
It's all right.
No.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you for what you did.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Hey, you have to have a sit, see right here, let's take a picture.
Big C.
Can I sit the leather one?
Yes.
You got hands?
Don't let me sit down.
Oh, that's right, we have another one.
Yep. Yeah, before you sit down, let's read this. And our second commendation, whereas Colin Schaefer, Student Council President, has brought honor and distinction to Woodrow Wilson Community School, your family and yourself, and the entire community through your dedication to student government. Whereas the Board of Education wishes to recognize the commitment, enthusiasm, and outstanding achievement of Colin Schaefer, be it hereby resolved that this Bayonne Board of Education sincerely congratulates Colin Schaefer. Colin, come on up.
All right.
Ms. Brown, Mom, come on up here. Come on up, Ms. Brown. Everybody, come on up. Yana, get up.
Ms. Brown.
Colin, come sit in the big chair.
Right here.
Go sit in the big chair, you're in charge. Mom and Dad be behind you.
Mom and Dad on either side of you.
Congratulations.
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 Great job.
Have a seat.
Talk to you soon.
Congratulations.
Thanks. No. No, two.
One more.
One more?
One more.
Gotta do the one that, the new school.
I'd like to call up our student council members from the high school and their teachers to come up that are here. For those of you that don't know, we came up with the district slogan, and the student council worked with us in this room to come up with that slogan. What did we come up with, 10? I think 10 or 12.
About 10.
We came up with 10, and from that 10, then we narrowed it down to the top 3, and then there was a vote throughout the district, and the top vote getter was?
The youth of today, the leaders of tomorrow.
That's our new district slogan, and it'll be on all of our stationery, it'll be on banners in our schools, but it was chosen by these students, and ladies and gentlemen, this was completely. Well done. Well done.
Congratulations.
Now that work isn't done, we're going to formulate a vision and a mission statement, and it's going to work. We're working with our student government, and then hopefully all of you here in this room and
Pictures here? Guys, get in the
focus our
Come on over here, sit down.
Come on, pictures.
Oh, yeah, right here.
In these middle chairs right here. You go right in and you dress them up.
Sort it out.
Come on. Okay.
There you go.
I'll be in the picture. Congratulations. Great job. Yours today, yours tomorrow.
Moving in that and these guys.
Somebody kicked me under the table.
There he is.
That's what just happened.
Yeah, if you guys want to slip out the side door, because I know you got a lot of homework before tomorrow. but-
No, it fell. I didn't do it.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
Before we go on, I'd just like to congratulate, we had an election last month, and or this month, actually. I'd just like to congratulate the winners of the Board of Education, Lisa Burke, Jan Patrick Egan, and our own Dennis Wilbeck, our Vice President, who'll be back. I want to thank everyone that ran. I think it makes it a very healthy situation when we see that many people caring about the city of Bayonne and the school district and the Board of Education. I also want to give special thanks to my two buddies, Chuck and Carol, and I'll say more about them next month. Thank you once again.
Next up is our Student Council representative, Mr. Francis Labuti.
Good evening, Board of Ed trustees, Superintendent Mr. Neese, Assistant Superintendent Mr. Kopaz, and Dr. Degnan. My name is Francis Labuti, and as the Board of Ed representative for the student government, I hope to inform you on a number of events throughout the school the student government has hosted and participated in over the last month. In regards to some of the events we've organized this month, on November 1st, the student government hosted an activities fair in the main gym to inform the incoming freshmen about the various available student clubs and organizations which provide students at Bayonne High School with the opportunity to express themselves and explore their interests. The event was a success, and we've had the incoming freshmen from all the elementary schools in Bayonne to come to the high school to see the many extracurricular activities we have to offer. Additionally, the student government has also organized our annual Fright Night, which has consistently had a successful and been a successful and fun event for students over the past few years. Fright Night was one of the biggest iterations of the event we've hosted, with 3 hallways in the school leading to a movie in the main gym. Throughout the next month leading up to the next board meeting, the student government will be hosting a range of holiday season themed events. To start the month off, we will be serving Starbucks hot chocolate in the main entrances of the school at the beginning of the day for $2. This event will go on until February. The proceeds will be used for the Water Wells charity, which serves to provide water to communities that do not have access to clean water. The following event will be our Holiday Grams event. Students will have the ability to send school-appropriate messages to their fellow peers and teachers for $1. In addition to the message itself, the card comes with 2 sugar-free Hershey Kisses. This event will run through December until the last day before break, where the student government will deliver the messages to the receiving students' homerooms. Lastly, we will be hosting our annual Winter Fest, where we will be showing a holiday-themed movie in the ice rink. This event is a great event for students to revel in the holiday spirit and enjoy themselves with their peers before break. Winterfest will be hosted on December 19th. Again, thank you for your continued support of the student government and your time today.
Thank you.
North Plainfield, New Jersey.
And this is at last, is the great gift of Chernobyl. Where I once would fear the cost of the truth, now I only ask, what is the cost of lies? Last time I told you about a lie that we believe, and that is that things are the way they are, that we don't have any responsibility for them. And while that's true of the physical world, it is not true. Bayonne High School and Bayonne is the way it is because somebody said so and we agreed to it, and we can change it anytime we want. The next one is a very toxic chemical that corrodes our ability to deliver a thorough and efficient education to our children. And since nobody on the board will speak, I have to address this to Mr. Broderick. Mr. Broderick, why do you think that I am the only teacher out of 800 teachers that comes to this board meeting and tries to address deep issues that are present in this school district, but we don't really address?
I guess they go through their proper channels first before they would come here. They'd go to their director, they'd go to their principal. They have a union rep that sits here every meeting. So I would assume that's how they really deal with things.
That's not the way they deal with things. Okay. The reason nobody comes is because they're afraid. For 20 years, they have lived in fear. And the only reason I can stand here is because the administration has nothing to offer. There's nothing I want, and I have tenure. Nobody else. And, you know, there are many times when I have spoken before this board, and the next day, everybody shakes my hand and says, boy, thank you for saying that. That's what we feel. And then I ask them, why didn't you get up and support me? And they said, because we're afraid of the retribution. Now, this board and the administration, if you want this school district to prosper and to turn out leaders, what was the slogan? I couldn't hear it. It was so.
Youth of today, leaders of tomorrow.
Yeah, if you want to produce leaders of tomorrow, you got to get rid of the fear in this school district. It's there. It's all covered up, but it's there. No one will come forth and challenge. They've been, and it's still there, okay? People are waiting for it to come back, and they don't want to be in the limelight when it comes back. They think it's coming back. Okay, so I would suggest that you take positive action to really be sure you eliminate the fear factor, and it's going to take a long time because a lot of people have suffered. Okay.
Thank
So.
you.
Thank you for your comments. Next up is Mr. Anthony D'Amico, 73 West 6th Street.
Anthony D'Amico, 73 West 6th Street. Just following up from last meeting, I was wondering if there was any update on the leaking of information before it's been public. I know we talked about it and got passed off as a campaign thing, but I mean, you had your VP, you had 2 trustees, and you also had your president leaking information before it was made public. And I was told you'd look into it, but, you know, wondering if there's an update on it.
As far as leaking what?
As far as the Hudson Community College thing being broadcasted before it was ever brought up to the board for a vote, and the attorney grabbed the card and said that he would look into it, so I'm just wondering if anything was actually looked into or if it was just a load of BS.
There's nothing's up there on it.
So everybody just gets to leak information before it's around and there's no penalties, no nothing?
No, if someone has an issue with it, they need to make, come to the administration, make a claim, to the board. And that's all we can do with it.
Sweet, no problem.
All right.
No need to follow any procedures or anything. The other thing is, Mr. Neese, I know we talked like 3 months ago at one of the meetings about the tennis court, and I know that was number one priority. Any update?
Yeah. Actually, yes, we just passed a resolution that we were able to get the bid and to hopefully get the groundwork started very soon and finished by the spring. Is that, am I correct, Ronald?
Yeah, so we're looking to start the process before.
It was B10 that we did
I was gonna say,
tonight.
because normally you don't do asphalt under 60 degrees,
So
so.
we're not gonna be able to do the asphalt portion of the work until the spring and.
All right, cool, thank you.
Mr. President, that's all I have for this evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion.
Second?
I'll second.
On that motion and second, trustee Alonso, trustee Cassius,
Yes.
trustee Cruden, trustee Finerty,
Yes.
trustee Munoz,
Yes.
trustee Ryan,
Yes.
trustee Bellato,
Yes.
vice president Wilbeck,
Yes.
president Broderick.
Yes.
It is 7:55. We are concluded.